Welcome, everyone, to the regular meeting of the Municipal Council of the City of Westmount, held in the Council Chamber of City Hall on January 13, 2026 at 7 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Called to order. Number 2, Mayor's and Councilors' reports. You know what, I didn't prepare a report. Yes, Councilor Kez.
I have a little bit. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for being here and wishing everyone a happy and healthy new year. I'd like to bring to attention that the food drive was a success thanks to our numerous partners in the community, the generosity of residents who donated during the Westmount Artisan Fair, Giving Tuesdays, and the events outside of our local grocery stores. We were able to provide 46 families with food baskets, and some items collected were sent to nearby shelters. Thank you to everyone who participated in this really, truly important event. Unfortunately, I have some sad news to report with the passing of Christine Goodyear. Over the years, Mrs. Goodyear worked in several city departments and most recently was the voice of the Good Morning Westmount Seniors Program and was the public security overnight dispatcher. Christine had been working right up to the holidays and had gone for a planned surgery December 22nd, but sadly, she unexpectedly passed away January 6th. Public security has reached many calls from residents who knew Christine, and they all said she was so much more than just a phone call. Christine will be missed by many, and on behalf of all of our council, our sincerest condolences to her family and friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Aronson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Old habits are hard to break, and I realized as we came out here that in terms of the garden waste schedule, we hadn't discussed it amongst the new commissioner responsibilities, so I'm going to take this upon myself to remind everybody that if you have a Christmas tree in your home and you would like that Christmas tree to not be in your home anymore, there is Christmas tree pickup this week and next week on regular garden waste pickup days. But if you miss the boat, you are stuck with a tree till next year. So if you would like us to take away your tree, please do what you will do with your garden waste in the summer with your Christmas tree, and please, please remove all the ornaments and tinsel from the tree before you put it outside, as it does interfere with our ability to compost those trees. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Moss.
Yeah, just 2 quick items from Sports and Rec. Winter Carnival is February 7th, and the spring program registration is February 10th. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other councillors?
If I can, Mr. Mayor, as Commissioner of Public Works, just a shout out. We are, everyone knows the condition of our, you talked about it in the capital works budget, Mr. Mayor, but infrastructure and the climate, there is so much thawing, freezing, and the condition and how cold it's been, and then how today 3 degrees, and then it's going to be minus 15 on Thursday with more snow. The condition of our roads and the potholes. So I just wanted to shout out, people, please, ladies and gentlemen, be mindful. It's very difficult. The Department of Public Works is trying, and they're doing their utmost to respond. When you take your photo of a pothole and send it in, it works. They send the team, they do their best. But because of the amount of water, remember, Mr. Mayor, we are 4 square kilometers on a mountain with a ton of water, a ton of salt. What happens with the thawing and freezing? It is extremely difficult. We have to be understanding. Yes, we need to do better, and we are trying. I just wanted to shout out at this incredible time. Thank you.
Thank you. Just as a general overall comment, to be brief, you know, this is our 3rd meeting. It's the start of 2026. We are committed to our agenda of making things better, continuously better for the residents of Westmount. We have a big agenda of things to get done. We're prioritizing them one by one. There's a lot of work at the beginning of a new administration to learn our way around. And you see with the financial matters, although we have thankfully, we have very capable people here, but it's an obligation on the mayor and the council to understand everything, to challenge everything, and to add value where we can. So all that to say is we're continuing to work for you, and that's ever on our mind to make things better for all Westmounters. And we look forward to a very good year. Yes, Councillor Chomsky.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick note for you. A lot of the PTI budget is within the infrastructure department, and engineering has already begun the preparation of plans and tendering documents. I want to inform the public and the residents that notices regarding which streets are going to be affected will be communicated to residents in a very timely fashion. They've already begun that work. Dependent on the passing of the PTI. And the best place is to find out about which streets and to see the overall visual impact of that. I would like to just promote and refer our website under the Maps and Landmarks page. On the View Main Map, we have an area of the website that refers to Info Construction, which will have a list shortly of all of the 2020-26 PTI infrastructure interventions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Chomsky. Councillor Levine.
While we're doing shout-outs, as the liaison to the Merchants Association of Green Avenue and Victoria Village, a shout-out to Cynthia Lullum and her team for the amazing Christmas lighting that took place both on Green Avenue and Victoria Village, and a fantastic Hanukkah party on Green Avenue. Green Avenue was closed between Sherbrooke and de Maisonneuve for a Hanukkah party that was attended by well over 500, maybe 750, up to 1,000 attendees, which is unbelievable. That's the vitality that can happen on Green Avenue. It was fun. It was vibrant. There was all kinds of events for everybody, and it was done in conjunction with Chabad. So shout out to the Merchants Association.
Thank you. Item number 3, which is the first question period. At this time, does anyone have any questions?
Come on, Liz. Hi, Mayor Stern and all the councillors. So we're here today to represent a larger group in Westmount who may be listening online and submitted questions. Oh, Diana Anderson, St. Catherine West. You want to introduce?
Elizabeth Washington, I live on Academy Road, not sure which district.
You may have read about us, but we came together a few months ago with a shared mission. We had each individually been trying to rescue sick and dying foxes around Westmount. And through our shared mission of trying to help them, we discovered that there are no organizations that will really help rescue, rehabilitate, and handle our sick and injured wildlife that we share this city with. And there's quite a lot of it. We have a lot of green space. We felt as a community we need to do something, and so we started putting our heads together. Sadly, the fox that you may have read about did die after we rescued her. It was just too late for Sunny. But we were surprised at how many people came out all over Westmount in the middle of the night, out of their homes, offered supplies, offered their bare hands to help us capture this dying female fox. The media covered us, City News, City TV, CTV News, The Independent, The Suburban. We raised over $10,000 of funds to try to help these animals, almost 10,000. We had over 509 signatures on a petition to try to change how we handle wildlife in this city. And so our two-part question tonight
The first
for you.
part is, well, okay, in light of the above, in light of the above and in light of the budget's already been adopted, but we're wondering what provisions can we put in place to address urban wildlife conservation and protection in Westmount?
And to follow that, so how can interested residents like us best work with you as the mayor and the council for the welfare of nature and wildlife, flora and fauna in this city so we can ensure a healthy and sustainable future? With climate change, we expect that we may see more sick and injured wildlife, and we have a lot of nature around us. Thank you.
And it affects all of us.
So there's two aspects to it. It's the animals, the wildlife, and there's the fauna and flowers and
Correct.
flora. Anyway, that we do have money in our budget, and we do continuously work to maintain and protect that. With regards to the animals, it's a provincial matter, and actually the city is not allowed to be involved with animals, wild animals, whatever. And what we decided to do is we will put much more information on our website shortly, which will give information to residents as to who to contact. Now, if you see a situation where you believe it's an imminent danger to people or something like that, you're asked to call 911 or public security. If it's regards to the welfare of an animal that's wounded or something, you have to call provincial authorities, and we will put that on the website, additional information, which may not be complete there now, but will be shortly. So
We
that
did
people-
that. I called over 14 organizations,
Okay.
including the Quebec minister. I called the city of Montreal. I called public security multiple times, and everyone just said, let nature take its course. If they're sick, they'll die. Okay, there was no assistance to us at all from anyone at the provincial or city level. Many Westmount residents who might be listening and who are in the city and are supported by what we've gathered
Well, we can
would like to
follow
help
up with the
them.
provincial government, because it's not our mandate, we're not even allowed to interfere, but at least we can contact the Quebec government and find out what's the story. They shouldn't tell you, we'll just leave things be, because they're supposed to be there to help.
But is this federal, like, is this just Quebec? Because other provinces like Ontario, the city of Toronto has a wildlife,
I'm not aware.
can't remember the exact name, but they
anyone else
look after
aware?
wildlife. It's like
I'm not
foxes.
aware of. Anyway, we will look into, see what we could do with provincial authorities, but as we understand it, we're not allowed as a city to intervene. Yes, Councillor Moss?
I'll just step in here and say, you're probably worried that you're going to speak here tonight and that'll be the last you hear of it, but I'll step up and say, I'd be happy to meet you on a regular basis to go over ideas of what we can do with this.
Very good.
I have no
Thank you.
solutions, but I'm happy to meet with you.
Okay, well, thank you. I think
Councillor Aronson?
there is some precedent, though, and I think, well, Matt, yeah, Councillor Aronson.
So, with respect to what the city is able to do in terms of managing resident calls concerned about animals, and what our public security officers had frequently done in the past in terms of making sure that the animal is safe as we find the right resource in order to help that animal, in order to facilitate quick access to registered or trained or recognized animal welfare experts, especially in urban wildlife. There is always the possibility, which we can explore, that we can find some way within the existing resources of the city to facilitate that. So to that end, there is a project that I discussed with the public during the election, bringing forward a different type of service for our parks and green spaces to, amongst other things, keep order, to enforce rules, and also to care for urban flora and fauna. Now, that's something that we are discussing as a group. I brought forward a proposal because it is, at the moment, with it being discussed by council and the decisions have been made as to how we might go forward. We can't really get into any of the details of it, but I am very sympathetic to what you're bringing forward here, so much so that I specifically addressed it in some materials that I provided to my colleagues. So this is the sort of thing that as we get through the budget season and are able to turn our eyes to policies and development of more optimized services for our residents, I would hope that we'd be able to discuss as a group and bring you back something that is robust and meaningful. And to echo my colleague, Councillor Moss, I too, and perhaps we can work together from a sustainability and parks perspective, would be very happy to meet with residents and discuss with them anything they observe or their concerns in this area, so that we have resident input into any plans as they go forward at the policy level.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Moss?
Can I leave this with you? You seem like very resourceful people who are able to mobilize a lot of people and resources on an issue quickly. Dare I suggest that you create an organization, if there are none that exist? I'll leave you with that.
There's big volunteer support in Westmount, so we will, I think we'd like to come back and share some ideas and see how we can work with you to
Sure.
put something in place. We have some thoughts, so if there's a way that we can get involved, I think we'll come back and see how we can do something about it. There's quite a few people who want to see something done. There's foxes, coyotes, there's lots of wildlife. People have rescued wildlife and rehabilitated, but there's not squirrels, ducks. There's not many resources in place, and if people do call public security or other numbers, I think having the right information to find someone who can help is really important.
Thank you.
We didn't have that. And
Thanks for your help.
Sunny died for that
Yes,
reason.
because we need support. We can't just do it on our own, take the
Right.
law into our own hands. And, yeah.
We have
you.
two
Thank you.
councillors who offered support tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alex, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Alex Chamian, Chemin de Castle. Well, wishing you a happy new year, first of all, and to the administration as well. And you were, public safety was very present throughout the city during Christmas and New Year, so shout out to them as well. Just from the younger generation, just a big shout out to you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for adopting the city's most ambitious PTI. Actually, people might be saying, well, you know what, we're increasing our taxes to residents, sure, but it was done in a responsible way, and the faster we're proceeding with those important works, the less money it will cost to my generation and the generations to come. So big thank you for that as well. So over the last few months, the lack of greenery in the Lemay plan has drawn criticism from many Westmouters. Many have expressed a desire to see more greenery into the plan. And this is what I would like to address tonight. How can we add more greenery to the southeast sector? I would strongly encourage the city to consider the option of creating a sponge park called the Parc Éponge in French at Gladstone Place. Not only would this add greenery to a highly mineralized sector and help reduce heat islands, but it would also be an effective solution for stormwater management. I would like to quote Jean-Luc Martel, professor of construction engineering at ETS. Le parc éponge et ses rues adjacentes sont conçus de telle sorte qu'en cas de forte pluie, toute cette eau va aller vers le parc plutôt que de se retrouver dans les rues et dans les sous-sols des maisons. Due to its vegetation and landscaping features, the park would absorb or retain water for a certain period of time.
Alex,
I'm asking my question
Okay.
just in a few seconds. Like a sponge, thereby easing pressure on those sewer systems. TMR is moving forward with in this direction. The city of Montreal as well, we've seen several types of these parks created. So why would the city of Westmount not support initiatives that promote greenery and community gathering spaces while reducing the impacts of climate change? Would not it be une pierre deux coups?
So, thank you for your comments.
Oh.
What? So,
Okay.
apparently it's in the PPU. I know we have meetings, a lot of meetings scheduled. We've had a number of conversations about many things. Everything regarding the southeast, from the parking facilities to the green space. So, I think we'll be addressing that.
Trees.
And trees. So thank you.
But the point that I really wanted to make is that I think, we've had so much divisiveness on that. And I think, moving forward in 2026, and I thank you for the email you responded to me back in December, but, I think it is your desire, Mr. Mayor, and the entire council to really have a debate on how we move the Southeast revitalization plan. Yes, there are a lot of stances, but let's be united towards realizing the Southeast. And as for all of the issues, let's be united and let's work together. We're all residents of the city. We're all neighbors. So let's, work together. I'll leave the article. I
good.
used to go
Thank
to
you.
the clerk as well, just for your information. And
Thank
thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Councillor.
Just to make sure we're all on the same page here, we all hear you when we say we want to come together, and there are times at which there might be debate on elements of how the PPU will be enacted, but in this particular respect, I want to make sure you know that if there's debate to be had, you've already won this side with respect to demineralization and sponge parks. It is built into the PPU plan. That is exactly what the PPU plan calls for in the area that you were describing in and around Dorchester and Gladstone. I'm really glad to see that there's alignment here between what it is that you have correctly, I think, identified as a key element and the PPU as it was presented. So yes, we all agree with you, and that's already baked in. So we're good. Let's move forward.
It's all good. I mean,
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, Alex.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sorab Alavi. I live at 503 Mount Pleasant in Westmount. I lived in Westmount for 20 years, went to school here, and I'm also the owner of the property located at 4000 St. Catherine West, the old McDonald's, and now where the charitable organization Homeless Shelter is. So a few quick topics I wanted to bring about today. First of all, I know everyone discussed it and everyone brought it up. I'll bring it up again. Please fix these roads. It feels like a third world country.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed by the cab driver that drops me home in Westmount because I look at him, he's driving me home and he's like, where is this? Where am I? So please work on that. I know you are. The second is the wildlife initiative. My wife, Carolina, we didn't meet, was involved with you guys. So I believe in helping wildlife. I know it's not going to be a top priority on your list, but keep that in mind. Let's try to do something. And last but certainly not least, I want to discuss about the Southeast project, revitalization. Some of you remember me from the meetings that I've attended. Others haven't. And congratulations to the new members of the council, by the way. And the old for getting reelected. You have a tall task at hand, as always. So over the past several, months or past year, I've attended many council meetings to discuss the revitalization of the Southeast sector, and which is something that I think the whole city and all citizens want to see happen sooner than later. My partners and I have worked very closely with the city for the past 4 years to try to develop our site on the corner of St. Catherine and in our water, and we remain fully committed to investing the time and resource needed to help revitalize that sector in collaboration with the city, obviously. So what I'm wondering now, because I haven't attended any of the previous meetings, but how committed is this new council and mayor to continuing this path? How much of a priority is it to get this going? Because there are developers such as myself who are now really willing to go and move ahead. And we need your support and full commitment to do so for the sake of Westmount and its citizens.
This is a very important item for us. Don't forget, Westmount does not have much opportunity to grow. And part of our goal is to increase revenue and increase services to everyone. And increase housing, stores, and ultimately helps us with revenue, which we need to improve the city infrastructure-wise. So we're very committed to that area. It's one of the few opportunities, one of the few areas in the whole city where there is opportunity to grow. So we're fully committed to it. And it's
in terms of timeline, how do you foresee the next steps?
We have to have a number of meetings which are scheduled over the next little while. But we're fully committed to it, and I know you're working on it, and I know you're discussing with our people.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Keep at it there. We want to have you there. Thank you. If there are no other questions, I'll go to item number 4, which is adoption of the agenda. I call upon Councillor Chamy.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Je propose que l'ordre de jour de la séance ordinaire du Conseil de 13 janvier 2026 soit adopté.
Okay, any seconder? Oh, sorry. Seconded first? Councillor Aronson, sorry. Okay. Councillor Chana, sorry. Yes.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I'd like to propose an amendment to the agenda, that we adopt the agenda as presented with the removal of item 19. So having moved that, maybe someone could second it.
Yeah,
Vote on
do I
that.
have a seconder? Councillor D'Amico, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Okay, and then, so now you have voted on the amendment, and you need to vote on the motion to adopt the agenda
As
with
revised.
the modification. Exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to adopt the amended agenda as amended.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor D'Amico, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 5, confirmation of minutes. I call upon Councillor Chamy.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Je propose que le procès verbal de la séance ordinaire du Conseil tenue le 8 décembre 2025 soit approuvé.
I have to call for seconder? Seconder, Councillor D'Amico, I always look that way. All in favor? Aye. Passed, thank you. Reports to council, item number 6.1, correspondence. The following documents are tabled. Firstly, the list of bylaws adopted at the regular meeting of the Agglomeration Council, which was held on December 18, 2025. And secondly, the public review of the 2026 budget and the 2026 to 2035 10-year capital works program of Montreal, its para-municipal organizations, and the STM. So these documents have been tabled. Item number 6.2, list of approvals in virtue of bylaw 1507. I call upon Councillor Chamy.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Conformément au règlement 1507 sur la délégation de pouvoir à certains employés de la ville de Westmount, la liste d'autorisation de dépenses pour le mois de novembre 2025 est maintenant déposée.
Merci. Item 6.3, workforce report. I call upon Councillor D'Amico.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Le rapport de la main-d'œuvre pour le mois de décembre 2025 est déposé.
Item 6.4, which is the payment registry. I call upon Councillor D'Amico.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The list of payments for the month of November 2025 is tabled.
And 6.5, which is a list of duties on transfers, the invoices. I call upon Councillor D'Amico.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Les listes de facturation des droits de mutation pour le mois de novembre 2025 sont déposées.
Okay. Item number 6.6. Do I read this?
Oui, c'est les certificats pour le règlement 1645 décrétant des dépenses et un emprunt de 5 millions de dollars pour la réfection des bâtiments municipaux. Je dépose le certificat relatif au déroulement de la procédure d'enregistrement des personnes habiles à voter pour le registre du règlement 1645 décrétant des dépenses et un emprunt de 5 millions de dollars pour la réfection des bâtiments municipaux.
Merci. Item 6.7, tabling of the statements of pecuniary interests. I call upon City Clerk.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Conformément à l'article 358 de la loi sur les élections et les référendums dans les municipalités, je confirme que tous les membres du Conseil, donc tous les conseillers, conseillères ainsi que Monsieur le maire, ont déposé leur déclaration d'intérêt pécuniaire.
Merci. General Business and Administration, item number 7, change to the council sitting schedule for March 2026. I call upon Councillor Chamy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas on December 8th, council adopted the annual schedule of council meetings for the year 2026. Is that better? Do I have to read it again? Whereas December 8th, 2025, council adopted the annual schedule of the council meetings for the year 2026. And whereas council wishes to change the date of the meeting schedule for the March 3rd, 2026 meeting, I move, Mr. Mayor, that the regular council meeting scheduled for March 3rd at 7 p.m. be now moved to March 17th at 7 p.m. in the council chamber.
Okay, thank you. Item number 8, appointment of Seconder, Councillor D'Amico. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 8, appointment of acting mayor, 2026. Councillor Aronson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Oh, you done? All right, go for it.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Thank you. C'est moi, non? Oui. OK.
Fine.
Attendu qu'en vertu de l'article 56 de la loi sur les cités et villes, le Conseil peut nommer un conseiller ou une conseillère à titre de la maire ou mairesse supplémentaire, entendu que cette personne nommée par le Conseil possède et exerce les pouvoirs du maire lorsque celui-ci est absent du territoire et de municipalité et empêche le remplir des devoirs de sa charge. I move that Councillor Jeff J. Chamy, District 3 Councillor, be appointed acting mayor for the month of between February to April 2026.
Do you have a seconder? Councillor Chada, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, passed. Item number 9, specific directive on the use of a language other than the official language. I call upon Councillor Aronson.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Entendu que la loi sur la langue officielle et commune de Québec, le français, sanctionnée le 1er juin 2022, institue un devoir exemplaire de l'État de afin de souligner l'importance du rôle de l'administration québécoise dans la pérennité de la langue française et entendu que les municipalités devaient adopter une directive particulière précisante en les contextualisant les situations dans lesquelles les entendantes utilisaient une langue autre que le français, dans le cas permis par la Charte de la langue française et ses règlements d'application. Et, entendu que le Conseil confirme que la ville de Westmount a recours aux facultés prévues aux articles 23 à 26 de la Charte de la langue française, lequel est contrairement utilisation d'une langue autre que le français par un organisme reconnu en vertu de l'article 29.1 de l'Udit Charte. And now I'll put everyone out of their misery and switch to English. I move that this council adopt the specific directive on the use of a language other than the official language. And further, I move that we transmit said directive to the Minister of the French language in accordance with Section 29.17 of the Charter of the French language.
Thank you, Councillor Aronson. Do I have a seconder? Councillor D'Amico. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Passed.
Mr. Mayor, if we could just explain what this is for a second?
You want to explain it?
Just 3 lines.
Sure.
So the Charter of the French language does allow the city to designate certain times and places where a language other than French can be used in the delivery of civic affairs. And so in order to actually use to the maximum available limit of that flexibility, the exemptions within the law, Westmount has passed a specific directive on the use of a language other than the official language, being French, so that we can optimize the degree to which we offer services and information to our residents whose first language of choice is other than French, in particular in English. So this is a means by which we are making sure to ensure the linguistic rights of all Westmounters, Francophone, Anglophone, and Allophone, so that we are all well-served and well-represented in the city. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Item number 10, appointment of Public Library Committee. I call upon Councillor Chada.
Alors, il y a toujours une place disponible sur le comité de la bibliothèque publique pour une membre élue. Alors, je propose que la conseillère du district 8, Mme Kez, soit nommée membre du comité de la bibliothèque publique.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor D'Amico. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 11, financial contribution to Resilience Montréal, Quebec Social Initiatives Fund. I call upon Councillor Chada.
So the City of Westmount actually has a management agreement with the City of Montreal for the allocation of some funds under the National Strategy to Combat Poverty and Social Exclusion and the Quebec Social Initiatives Fund. Under this agreement, the City of Westmount receives financial assistance in the amount of $46,799 for 2025 to 2028, which the city gets to distribute to partners. So I would like to move that the City of Westmount pay the amount of $46,779 to Resilience Montreal for the year 2025 in order to support a project aimed at combating poverty and social exclusion. That the payment be conditional upon the execution of the financial contribution agreement attached to this resolution. That the Director General be authorized to sign on behalf of the city the financial contribution agreement attached to this resolution, as well as any other document required for its implementation.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Kez. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Contractual matters, starting with number 12, award of contract for modernization of human resources, payroll, and time and attendance systems, PUB 2025-006. 6-0. I call upon Councillor Chomsky.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have a number of information technology contracts this evening. I'll speak briefly on some of them just to provide some context. The first one is, as you referenced, in relation to the purchase and implementation of a new HR system, payroll system, and time attendance system. This is one of the critical systems that is required for the operating of the city in terms of managing its obligations and are we not on? Sorry, thank you. Critical system in the information technology with regards to payroll, timesheets, and human resource management. Therefore, Mr. Mayor, I move that contract PUB 2025-060 be awarded to Dayforce Canada Limited for an initial term of 3 years from 2026 to 2028. Initial term of 3 years from 2026 to 2028 in the amount of $674,210.21, that an expenditure of $334,878.92 be authorized for the integration, training, and implementation of the new payroll, human resources, and time attendance system for the year 2026, that the amounts required for this expenditure be drawn from available funds in budget line item 23315 22013, that the Director of Information Technology be authorized to sign any document required for the implementation of this contract.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Shami, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Oh, looks like passed. Thank you. Item number 13, cybersecurity services supplied by FQM Services, renewal of an annual agreement from 2025 to 2026. I call upon Councillor Chomsky.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As I said previously, another IT contract. This one relates to security services that are being renewed with the provider, which is the Fédération de Québécois de Municipalité, and they operate those services for us, and they offer them to other municipalities as well. They are set up as a cooperative, and they are a Quebec-based organization implicitly. And I would also mention that they operate and offer us external expertise in cybersecurity, which is of vital importance, and that we also are able to use their SOC, or Security Operations Center, as part of this agreement. I therefore move that Council renews the service agreement with FMQ Services Solidarity Cooperative for an additional 1-year period from November 20th, 2025 to November 19th, 2026, in accordance with that original contract, that Council authorize an expenditure of $125,973.22 for this contract, that this expenditure be charged to budget item 0213200527, and that the Director of Information Technology be authorized to sign all documents necessary for the implementation of the service agreement renewal.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Levine. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 14, renewal of contract, protection of IT service systems. I call upon Councillor Chomsky. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. To work in conjunction with the previous contract, we are also presented with a motion this evening for the renewal of additional software related to cybersecurity. These softwares specifically protect the city's infrastructure from antivirus and other malware, and they do so in a real-time environment and provide best-in-class protection for our information technology services. I therefore move that the renewal of the contract awarded to 9366-6501 Quebec Inc., La Société VAR, for the monitoring service and security information and event management system be authorized for a period of 1 year from January 1st to December 31st, 2026, that an expenditure in the amount of $67,110.80 be authorized for this purpose, and that the Director of Information Technology be authorized to sign this agreement, the agreement attached to this resolution, that the amounts required for this expenditure be drawn from available funds in budget line item 0213200527.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Shami. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 15, renewal of contract VMware Cloud Foundation. Councillor Chomsky.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yet again, another contract for the renewal of critical licenses. This time it is in relationship to VMware technology, which allows for the virtualization of the many services that are offered through our information infrastructure. We all had a tour of the Information Technology Center and Data Center, and one of the observations that many councillors shared was the very few physical boxes that were in the room, as opposed to technologies and what had been done previously in the past, where you had basically a one-to-one mapping with regards to a specific IT service and a specific piece of hardware. The city had migrated over time to a virtualization which provides for much more robust and efficient management and allows for near real-time recovery from any type of information technology problem. I therefore move that, Mr. Mayor, that the contract with VMware Cloud Foundation be renewed for the period between 2026, 2028 through the reseller Soft Choice In to ensure the continuity and performance of information systems, that an expenditure of $116,722.62 be authorized for this purpose, that the amount required for this expenditure be drawn from available funds in budget line item 02-132-00-527, that the Director of Information Technology be authorized to sign any document required to give effect to this resolution.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Aronson, all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 16, additional funds SQL license subscription DDP 2024-028. I call upon Councillor Chomsky.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the last one. Microsoft SQL is an integral part of the information technology platform that the city operates the majority of their databases and other systems, and to do so, we must, like our residents at home, sometimes have to renew our licensing. And this is a motion that accounts for that and plans and forecasts in a reasonable way the costs over the next several years. I therefore move that an additional expenditure of $54,249.80 be authorized for the years 2025 and 2026 for the purpose of the contract with CareTech Integrated Business Solutions for the acquisition of SQL licenses in accordance with the contractual documents of request for proposals DDP 2024-028.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Shami.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, just to continue, that the funds required for this expenditure be drawn from the available funds in budget item 02-132-00-527.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Shami. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 17, which is the supply of gasoline by Arnois Energy, Inc., authorization of expenditure and issuance of purchase order 2026 for 2026 to 2029. I call upon Councillor Levine.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that council authorize the issuance of a purchase order to Arnois Energy, Inc. for the supply of regular unleaded gasoline and super unleaded gasoline for a period of 36 months, namely from January 4th, 2026 to January 3rd, 2029, in accordance with the terms of the joint procurement with the City of Montreal, and that council approves for the aforementioned period a maximum expenditure of $476,246,246.34, all taxes included, and that the necessary funds for this expenditure be drawn from the account 58-251-00-000, and that the Director General be authorized to sign all documents necessary for the implementation of this resolution.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Chada, all in favor? Any opposed?
I always vote against the gasoline purchases symbolically to send a message to the market. That's all. Opposed.
Thank you. Item number 18, which is civil liability insurance, authorization of expenditure to BFL Canada Service de Risque et Assurance Inc., 2026-2027. I call upon Councillor Aronson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, seeing the lateness of the hour, I'm going to go right to the meat of the matter. I move to authorize an expenditure of $169,760.94 to be paid to BFL Canada Services de Risque et Assurance for the city's civil liability insurance coverage for the period of January the 1st, 2026 to January the 1st, 2027. I further move that this expenditure be charged to budget item 02-140-00-421. And finally, I move that the city clerk be authorized to sign any document necessary for the management of the insurance policy or the implementation of this resolution.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Levine. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next item, which is number 20, mandate for legal services, Bélanger Sauvé. I call upon Conrad. What? I have to mention it's removed? Number 19 is removed, so I went to number 20. The mandate for legal services, Bélanger Sauvé. I call upon Councillor Aronson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So on August the 12th, 2025, a private tree located on the property at 810 Upper Belmont had to urgently be cut down by the city, and the tree had partly fallen, posing an imminent danger to 3 neighboring properties and to the users of Devon Park, and Westmount equipment was also damaged as a result of the fall. And after an assessment with the Public Works forestry engineer, the decision was made to proceed with an immediate felling of the remaining part of the tree for safety reasons. And the cost of the city's interventions on this was $27,397.20. Now, despite being formally notified, the owner regrettably refuses to pay the city for the amounts that are owed, and the legal department is recommending that we take legal action to recover the amount of $27,397.30 plus interest, and recommends granting this mandate to Bélanger Sauvé SCN CRL. It's like an LLP in French. So accordingly, I'd like to move that the council authorize the collection procedures and mandate Bélanger Sauvé to represent the city. I'd like to move further that the council authorize an expenditure of $20,000 for the proceedings in this matter, and that finally that the funds for this expenditure be drawn from the available funds in budget item 02-140-00-418. Right, 412. Thank you.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor D'Amico. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passed. Thank you very much. I'm at item number 21, cancellation of a call for tenders, PUB 2025-042. I call upon Councillor Shami.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas a call for tenders, PUB 2025-042, was issued to obtain services for the disposal of street sweeping residues for the city of Westmount. Whereas when the opening of the bids took place and certain clauses in the contractual documents make it impossible to determine the lowest compliant bidder, I move that the call for tenders, PUB 2025-042, be now canceled and that the bids received be rejected.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor D'Amico. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passed. Thank you very much.
Oui, je m'excuse. J'aurais juste besoin de voir le vote de le conseiller Chomsky, s'il vous plaît. Parfait.
Okay, I'm at item number 22, mandate for legal services, Faskin, Martineau, Dumoulin. I call upon Councillor Aronson.
All right, I've had the puck passed to me on this one. So the city's Human Resource Department is seeking specific legal advice and guidance to ensure the sound and optimal management of matters related to labor relations, labor standards, health and safety, and disability, as well as certain specific events. And the city has previously worked with the law firm Faskin, Martineau, Dumoulin, whose mission is to provide high-quality legal and strategic advice. And where Fasken Martineau Dumoulin contributed to the negotiation of the city's collective agreements and developed expertise regarding those collective agreements and working conditions specific to the city, I move that a purchase order in the amount of $75,000 be authorized for the services of Fasken Martineau Dumoulin for the year 2026.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Shami. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 23, which is the mandate for legal services. Le Corps et Associé Avocat. I call upon Councillor Aronson.
Okay. Where the City of Westmount's Human Resources Department is seeking specific legal advice and guidance to ensure the sound and optimal management of matters related to labor relations, labor standards, health and safety, disability, and certain specific events. We've heard this before, but it's true here too. And whereas the city has previously worked with the law firm Le Corps and Associé Avocat, a law firm specializing in labor and employment law that exclusively represents employers like the city, and where the Cities and Towns Act, the regulation respecting the award of contracts for certain provincial services, and the bylaw concerning contract management all allow the City of Westmount to hire a lawyer of its choice up to a certain financial threshold. I move that a purchase order in the amount of $75,000, including taxes, be authorized for the services of La Corps and Associates Avocat for the year 2026, and further, that the city clerk be authorized to sign any document for the execution of the contract awarded by the city, including any deed as representative of the city in the aforementioned matter.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Chomsky, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next item, urban planning. Number 24, tabling of the Planning Advisory Committee, PAC, minutes for December 2025. I call upon Councillor Moss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that council take note of and accept the tabling of the minutes of the Planning Advisory Committee, that's our famous PAC, for the regular meeting held on December 2nd and 4th, 2025.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? No. Next one. The next one. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Aronson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Passed. Item number 25. So item number 25 is approval of site planning and architectural integration programs. I call upon...
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I will recuse myself from this file, and I do so because of a conflict with file CCU 25-12-01, also known as 2025-00089, PIIA 2025-03029. May the official record reflect that. Thank you.
Okay. I also have to excuse myself with regards to CCU 2512.42. That's it. I don't have to go through. And I call upon Councillor Shami take my place for a second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Stepping in, pinch hitting here. Item 25. Approval of the site planning architectural integration programs, the SPA. I'd like to call upon Councillor Moss.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Mayor.
That's good.
I move that council act on the opinions of the Planning Advisory Committee, that's the PAC, as set out in the minutes of the regular meeting held on December 2nd and 4th, 2025, and the table listed below, and approve with respect to each of them the plans and conditions for issuing permits attached to the items listed below, as assessed in accordance with Bylaw 1305 on site planning and architectural integration programs.
Thank you, Councillor. All those in favor? Oh, you need a seconder. I'm sorry, I'm looking for a seconder. I just got to get used to this seat. Councillor Aronson, who seconds the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Approved. Thank you. The next item, the mayor will be called back as Councillor Chomsky will come back. It's quite civilized.
Okay, we're item number 26 probably, no?
Yes.
No, item number 26, which is bylaws, notice of motion and adoption of the first draft bylaw of 1647 concerning the designation of the authority having jurisdiction for bylaws enforced by the Urban Planning Department. So we'll have to read this. So I call upon Councillor Moss.
Okay, I'm going to read this whole thing. Notice is hereby given of the intention to adopt at a future council meeting bylaw 1647 entitled Bylaw Concerning the Designation of the Authority Having Jurisdiction for Bylaws Enforced by the Urban Planning Department. A copy of the draft bylaw is filed. The purpose of the bylaw concerning the designation of the authority having jurisdiction for bylaws enforced by the Urban Planning Department is to properly designate the persons authorized to enforce urban planning regulations and certain regulations enforced by the city's Urban Planning Department. The bylaw aims to determine and define the powers of the Urban Planning Department. So I move that the first draft bylaw, 1647, entitled Bylaw Concerning the Designation of the Authority Having Jurisdiction for Bylaws Enforced by the Urban Planning Department, be adopted with a view of submitting it to a public meeting in accordance with the provisions of the Act Respecting Land Use, Planning and Development, CQLR Chapter A-19.1. A public meeting will be held in the Council Chamber of City Hall on January 22nd, 2026 at 7 p.m. in accordance with the provisions of the aforementioned law.
Thank you very much. We'll have a seconder. Councillor D'Amico, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 27, which is another bylaw, adoption of the first draft bylaw, 1648, on the occupancy and maintenance of movables. I call upon Councillor Chomsky.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
That's it.
Thank you. This is a notice of motion and adoption of the first draft of a bylaw. Notice is hereby given of the intention to adopt at a future meeting of City Council bylaw 1648, entitled Bylaw on the Occupancy and Maintenance of Immovables. A copy of the draft bylaw is tabled. Object, Bylaw 1648 on the occupancy and maintenance of immovables aims to establish minimum occupancy and maintenance standards for all the immovables in the city in order to ensure the safety and integrity of immovables so as to prevent and correct unsanitary conditions and deficiencies that may affect buildings or accessory structures.
This, by the way, is a very good thing. This is mandated by the province of Quebec, as I understand it, that all cities do this, and it gives the city more power in the case of properties, whether residential or non-residential, that are neglected and dangerous, gives the city power to intervene.
I therefore move that, Mr. Mayor, that the first draft of bylaw 1648, entitled Bylaw on the Occupancy and Maintenance of Immovables, be adopted with a view to submitting it to a public assembly in accordance with the provisions of the Act respecting land use, planning, and development, that a public assembly be held in the Council Chamber of City Hall on January 22nd, 2026 at 7 p.m. in accordance with the provisions of the aforementioned law.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Shami. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Number 28, which is the notice of motion, bylaw 1649, to further amend 1516, bylaw 1516, to establish the conditions for the publication of certain public notices. I call upon Councillor Shami.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I give notice of motion of the intentions to submit for adoption at a subsequent sitting of council Bylaw 1649 entitled Bylaw Further Amending Bylaw 1516 to establish the conditions for the publication of certain public notices. This bylaw aims to slightly amend Section 3 of Bylaw 1516, which sets out the terms and the conditions for publishing certain public notices. This, Mr. Mayor, will improve the clarity of interpretation and application. A copy of this draft bylaw is available now for consultation.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder?
Oh, there's no vote because it's only.
It's a notice.
Okay, thank you.
voted.
Number 29, notice of motion bylaw 1650 regarding the immovable acquisition program. I call upon Councillor Chomsky.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I give notice of motion of the intention to adopt at a future council meeting bylaw number 1650 entitled Bylaw Regarding the Immovable Acquisition Program. The object of which is the purpose, of bylaw 1650 is regarding the immovable acquisition program is to acquire by mutual agreement or by expropriation the lots or immovable properties listed in the bylaw in connection with the implementation of the special planning program for the southeast sector. A copy of this draft bylaw is available for consultation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On to the next item, number 30, notice of motion bylaw 1652 to impose and levy a tax on compensation for the 2026 fiscal year. I call upon Councillor Shami.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I give notice of motion of the intention to submit at a future council meeting bylaw 1652, entitled a bylaw to impose a levy, a tax, and a compensation for the 2026 fiscal year, and we'll table the draft of the said bylaw. The purpose of this bylaw is to establish the rules related to taxation. In particular, the bylaw sets the tax rates for the 2026 fiscal year and the terms of payment for the imposed property tax. A copy of this draft bylaw is now available for consultation.
Thank you.
Did I read something wrong?
No. Item number 31, notice of motion bylaw 1653 respecting the rate of transfer duties, welcome tax. I call upon Councillor Shami.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I give notice of motion of the intention to submit at a future council meeting bylaw 1653, entitled a bylaw respecting the rate of transfer duties. The purpose of this bylaw is to establish the tax basis for transfer duties applicable to immovable property transfers carried out as of January 1st, 2026. This bylaw complies with the standards set out in the Act respecting duties on transfers of immovables. A copy of this draft bylaw is now available for consultation.
Thank you. Item number 32, adoption of bylaw 1646 to establish tariffs for the 2026 fiscal year. I call upon Councillor D'Amico.
Oui, je signale que toutes les formalités requises pour la dispense de lecture de ce règlement ont été respectées et que des copies du règlement ont été remises à tous les membres du Conseil et à la disposition du public.
So declared.
So where are we now?
Donc, l'objet du règlement 1646 est de fixer les tarifs en vigueur pour l'exercice financier 2026 pour différents services de la Ville. Je propose que le règlement 1646, intitulé Règlement visant à établir les tarifs pour l'exercice financier 2026, soit adopté.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Levine, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next item, which is number 33, Human Resources, appointment of Assistant Director of Public Works. I call upon Councillor Shami.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move I request that council approve the permanent appointment of Ms. Patricia Rassett to the position of Assistant Director of Public Works, effective January 14th, 2026, in accordance with the terms and the conditions of employment and compensation for management personnel, and that compensation be set according to pay grade 5, 2025 rate, and from the funds available in budget item 02-310-00-111, and that this appointment be subject to a probationary period in accordance with the agreement on working conditions and remuneration of management personnel.
This is a promotion of a well-deserved promotion of an existing employee, and we're not creating a new position, as we are not replacing anyone. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Aronson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 34, I call upon Councillor D'Amico concerning the cessation of employment for employee number 06998.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Attendu que l'employé matricule numéro 06998 a été embauché en novembre 2025 et il a été constaté avant la fin de sa période d'essai que celui-ci ne possède pas les qualifications requises et les aptitudes nécessaires à l'emploi. Je propose que le Conseil autorise et entérine la fin de la période d'essai et de la cessation d'emploi du salarié matricule numéro 06998 en date du 22 décembre 2025, selon la recommandation de la directrice générale.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Levine, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We now come to the second question period. Anyone here have any questions? We have some questions online. So I'll go to the questions online. I think we have 3 questions online. So this is from Oren Nudik at 665 Grosvenor Avenue. And it talks about a traffic circulation problem, specifically Grosvenor between Westmount and the Boulevard. It's a school zone, and it's often bumper to bumper in the morning and causes a lot of problem in the sense that the quality of life is challenged because of the traffic, and the speeding has been reduced significantly, but there's so many cars there all the time. And there's an answer, and it's a long answer, so maybe I won't read the whole answer. We've done some corrective things to fix things in that area. Specifically, we did this over in the last year or so. We put in yellow curb markings and bollards to reinforce visual narrowing. We temporarily installed and rotated speed display devices. We put in a pedestrian crossing signal at the Boulevard and Grosvenor. We extended pedestrian crossing times to encourage through traffic, and we installed a traffic signal visor in 2025 to reduce acceleration towards the intersection. You know, there's an awful lot of traffic that really backs up from further back as well, and it's usually at school time because kids are being dropped off at school. And the only other thing that one of our people suggested is perhaps maybe we should do look at this through our traffic committee and maybe have it talks about a citywide traffic master plan. So I'll leave it to the DG to respond directly to the person and see if there's anything additional that we could do. Question number 2 is from Joanna Etchlin at 4250 Sherbrooke. She talks about what will be done to improve the conditions of our sidewalks and pedestrian paths during the winter. And like putting sand and gravel on top of the sheets only creates a brown sludge. And there's a very similar question by Judith Le Gallet at 464 Victoria, who talks about sidewalk clearing, the treatment, and she's talking specifically about Victoria above Sherbrooke, 2 blocks above Sherbrooke, and maybe even further north, they have icy patches. So I can answer both of them. I have answers from Director of Public Works and Director of Engineering, and it was mentioned before by Councillor Shami. I remember as a kid, you probably remember too if you're a little bit older like me, that we didn't have rain at this time of year. It was constantly cold and freezing, and as unpleasant as it was, it kept things frozen. Now with I don't know if it's global warming, that's what it must be. We have periods where it is warm, and we have rain, and you have this constant freezing and thawing, and the roads expand and contract, and especially if there's potholes that were filled, they expand and contract, and we have that problem. In addition, with the precipitation that's different, it affects the sidewalks tremendously. We have different types of precipitation, snow, rain, freezing rain, and even because Westmount is on a mountain, and although it's not that big, it's documented there could be 2 degrees difference from the top to the bottom of Westmount, and often you have temperatures that are close to freezing, so it could be freezing in one area and below freezing in another, and that causes all kinds of havoc. So we look at doing different types of things. Like, for instance, if it's continuously snowing, we don't use salt. We can't. If the temperature is minus 15, salt has no effect. If it's raining, we don't use salt. If it's freezing rain, we use a mixture of salt and stone. So we're constantly trying different things, and we have a good engineering department who makes use of the various things that are available to us. And with regards to the timeliness of the sidewalks, you know, when our first priority is generally the roads, and because we can't leave those unsalted, it's very dangerous. You have cars and trucks coming down a hill, and could cause all kinds of problems. So the crew's out early, A, to clear the snow, and to put on, whether it's salt or a combination of salt or something similar, to take care of the streets. And they can't necessarily do the sidewalks at the exact same time, which they try to do, and it's an ongoing challenge for us, but rest assured we are trying our best. We may be the only city, or one of the only cities on the island, that has crew on the weekend dedicated to dealing with these matters. Some of the other cities wait to see if there's a snowstorm, and sometimes they leave it for a couple of days, or if it's really bad, they call in staff. We have staff here all the time dealing with this. So it's a continuous challenge for us, and hopefully we're winning the battle. Any other questions? I guess that's it. I adjourn the meeting. I thank you all for attending. We look forward to a great 2026 with you, and have a great week. Thank you.